Hi guys, and welcome back to Paolo's video, GT40 Model Works, my channel. And the model I would like to talk with you today, it is the reissue of my Dino 206S. Was the Dino version for hill climb, for mountain races, and also famous like the Dino Montagna. This was a model that I originally made in 2015, as you can see from the bottle of the tag on the bottom of the model, and I never changed it during the year because I think it's a nice reminder to me, remembering the level of my original kits of the first stuff that I was going to produce back in 2015. And about this little model, this little car is a kind of subject that I absolutely love. I like vehicles like the Lotus Elise, Exige, that type of cars, stuff that is quite little, not impressively big, and absolutely nice racers. This is a car from 1967, so it's from the same era of the Ferrari 330 P4, and they shared similar solutions. Both were spider cars. The design was kind of similar, and basically this was the smallest sister of the P4 family. And the model that I made was originally produced, I guess, from modelers, something like that. Even if the model that I worked at, this master that I worked in the beginning, was not an original modeler itself, because the quality was absolutely crap. I mean, to keep it at this level of smoothness and at this level of clean parts, I had to work a lot, because this was just a copy, probably handmade by somebody at home. So there was a lot of holes and bubbles, so it was absolutely a nightmare to keep it clean and to make it looking like an ordinary model. In the first moment when I opened the box of what I received after I purchased the original one from eBay, I think it was back in 2012 when I did it, I was really disappointed and nearly wanted to trash it. But looking carefully at the proportion, I was thinking that working a lot, sanding a lot, filling a lot, was possible to obtain a shape similar, very similar to the stuff that I see in pictures. So for me, this was anyway the nicest vehicle to reproduce the Dino 206 in 124 scale. The main difference, my main work over this model, was mostly to keep completely empty the engine bay. If you can see how the model is completely closed, because this is the mock-up, is the master of the external shape, but my models are a full detailed kit. So inside my boxes you will find the engine, you will find the complete transmission for the car to make the hatch completely open. If you already have seen the videos of my red Dino 206, it was the first model I built up of my series. I plan to make other ones because I like too much the car. At least I absolutely want to build quite soon the blue American car used what was that road, Atlanta somewhere? I don't remember honestly, because I prepared the decal the last year, so I don't remember. But it was anyway the blue Dino, quite famous because it had the colors of the American racer, so it was not the ordinary yellow or the ordinary red used by this car, so it was the blue one, the blue Dino. And it was also tricky to find the proper logos all around the decal sheet, but I was so happy because we could make it, and so I can make also the model that I deeply want in my collection. So inside my kit you will find the main part to make the car, so the wheels, the under chassis, the upper body, the engine hatch, and this frame for the windshield. The windshield is vacuum formed, is this part, is a vacuum formed canopy, quite clear. Let's see if I can show you a little better from the plastic. basically this part. As you can see, quite clean, professionally vacuum molded. This was a very kindly guy, thank you Roberto always for your help, that made a professional printing of these vacuum formed sides. At the time I still didn't have any machine to make my own vacuum form like I did for the G91T, so I had anyway to add two third parts to help me in finishing these details. I could not otherwise. As well as you can find, usually they are printed on the same sheet, so you have to cut it by your own. The covering from the front lights, you know, you barely can see them, you know, it's a little bulge. Anyway, it's that part there. You are anyway always free to make it by your own because they are quite simple, and the foldering is very gentle. It's not so sharp corner, so it's not complicated at all to make it by your own. And inside the model also I added the smallest finest detail, so a steering wheel, and if I'm not wrong, I think I had both of them. I added both the possibility to have the flat bolt stopper on the wheel, as well as the bigger one used in Borrani and typical for the Ferrari of this era. They are much bigger, so depending from what kind of final bolt you like more, you are free to use both of them, you know. There is also two, you see there is still the frame for the molding for the basic exhaust, because in the beginning they just provide two small exhausts under the chassis of the car. Then I made the engine, so you basically have to cut around this line. There is a mark inside in the inner side of the body. I cannot show you this one now in this video because all the model have been temporarily glued for the video purposes, so I will not disassemble it now. And anyway, if you open it, you see immediately where is the cutting point for to reproduce the inner frame. Always remember that when you buy kits from me, I always provide something like thousands of pictures of the real vehicle and my builds, so you can have your own idea on the detail you want to add, and looking maybe at the work that I made, take inspiration and make probably also better than what I did. So I think is the best choice instead of add an ordinary decal sheet. The kit is absolutely basic, so you don't need an instruction to know, okay, this is the front wheel, okay, that is the rear wheel. I think you can see with your own eyes, you know. When I was preparing the model, I had to choose, because what I get was just a body without the correct wheels, no? So I had to organize something, and this was what I had to study before. And there were Dino wheels coming from a 166, I don't know the firm, and the other ones are probably just bad copies of what you can find inside the Dino Competizione, because probably the guy that made these copies hoped to make it similar, thinking they are both Dino, but he just chose the Pininfarina style exercise used for the Dino Competizione kit, that is completely a different car. So the model produced in plastic by Arfix that I also have is a kind of cute model, you know. Remember that only one Dino Competizione exists in reality, owned by Jim Glickenhaus, one of the most important American collectors, you know, of supercars. He has in his collection also a P4, GT40s. He have very nice car, P3, and to make a correct Dino Competizione you need anyway to change them, because if you check picture you see immediately that the wheels of the actual car are quite bigger, so they never will be something like this. This I can take for some tuning car, for some crap I absolutely don't know, but it's nearly useless, you know. And moreover, they were also printed. Now I completely fixed them to be in some way usable, but as you can see, the molding was absolutely terrible, so the quality was ugly. You cannot work at all with such kind of red wheels. And last but not least, final details were also the dimes for the front painting of the frame of the front lights. I think I also had some micro decal set. You can see down there There is just some Ferrari badges, because some cars used to have the Ferrari badge over, despite this was mostly a Dino, but in some picture there have been also the car with some stickers over, so depends from what you want to build. There is no donor kit required for this model. It is a full kit model, so the copies that I'm going to sell now, they are all full kits. Before I was selling the car separately from the engine, but then I see that when the engine became available, all the people that wanted the model in the beginning also wanted the engine in a second time, so I offer it like a complete kit in a unique solution. And I think still this is an amazing little Italian racer that every collector should have in his own 124 collection. So that's it. I like the car so much, and see you in the next video.